in living color from New York, and my star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's Sunday Night Live with the Late Joey Reynolds Show, the world's first triple cast on radio, TV, and internet. Big J Sorensen, who are Joey's guests tonight?
Thanks, Shotgun Tom Kelly in Los Angeles. On the Late Joey Reynolds Show, Joey's got a tribute to Jerry Lewis, featuring the former Dean of the Friars Club, Freddie Roman, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame record man, co-founder and still president of Sire Records, and VP of Warner Brothers Records, the legendary Seymour Stein, world-famous rock and roll photographer, Bob Gruen, singer, songwriter, and musician, Enid, talent booker, new author of This Life of Ours, Fairy Tales of Mob Bartenders, and president of Brooklyn Girl Press, Diane Morton-Gattullo, plus rock violinist, Daisy Jopling.
And now, here's Joey!
Swing, Joey, swing!
Burn, baby.
Joey Reynolds Show!
What a show.
Habla Espanol. Got my Cuban-American shirt on.
Is that what that is? Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
It's been a wonderful, wonderful summer. Isn't it great? We're on the air in L.A. as well.
Yes, we
so
are.
So remember that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say, yes, you're thinking New Jersey.
Right.
Where today they had the eclipse. Well, we thought they had the eclipse. It was Governor Christie going to the beach. Mooning.
Uh-oh.
Total eclipse of the heart.
Total eclipse of the beach.
It wasn't the heart. Believe me. No, total eclipse of the heart when we lost so many people this week. Dick Gregory.
Yeah.
I used to
great
march
comedian.
with him during civil rights, and he wouldn't eat. Remember that? He was fat, one time. Then he
Yeah,
stopped
and-
eating.
oh, my
and so
God.
did I.
Yeah, really.
Remember? That's when I started. Remember, I started to not be...
A big boy like me. Yeah.
That's right. Well, I didn't say that.
No, you
I would
didn't.
never make fun of you, but I did get you an oversized shirt.
You did. That's all right.
And it's up for what they call a... I guess there's a way to say it.
Yeah,
Stout.
go ahead.
They used to call it stout.
I don't care.
I was in the fat ass section.
Yeah, you were.
I don't know about stout.
I have pictures of you putting
Yeah.
records on your ears.
I know, and I would go oink. But it's one of those things I like. I like when they have my favorite description of a large person is Maurice the comic. When he calls you a salad skipper, that to me is the kindest way
That's good.
to describe something. Yeah. And then there was in Tom's River, where you live,
right.
there's a big man's shop. It's very popular.
Yes, there is one.
And Tom Chauvin used to go to that thing.
Did he really?
And my favorite card, which says, "If it don't fit, we don't give a."
It rhymed.
I
at
still
least.
love it.
Okay.
But anyway, that's just a fat jokes. We shouldn't be doing that.
No, it's all right.
We ought to move on to color.
But jokes
Let's move
are-
on to color.
no,
now,
I
come
don't-
on, let's
no,
do that.
no,
I'm
no.
taking my statue out of North Division Street in Buffalo.
Is that right? Yeah.
Well, I grew up in an all-black neighborhood.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
true.
white, and
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Nobody ever said you're white.
You were even going after the statue of the guy that built Penn Station before. I see you had like his rope around it.
We
got
got
to
to take out all the statues. down.
Everything, all
Let-
statues of everybody.
Listen,
you know?
the
Statue
only
of
statue
Liberty's
they ought
gone.
to take down is Imus. And then Scott Shannon and Wolfman.
Yeah, they.
And then maybe we'll have something, No, those are good guys. I'm just having fun. The thing is that we make fun of each other because it's a form of getting rid of the angst we have for
have a
all the
lot
things
of
that are
angst.
going on in this crazy country.
Yeah.
But it's always been crazy. I remember when my father said the worst thing the Kennedys do is wake up in the morning and think of something.
Wow.
Because they always had us doing things. Remember the Peace Corps and this and that? So nothing's changed. It's just the communication is faster and swifter, and we got more things to do now with each other on the phone and on texting, and it's provided a great platform to be rude.
True.
Because you don't return calls. And I always thought the texting was a kid's excuse so you don't know where they are.
Yeah.
Because if they text, you don't know where it's coming
No,
from.
you don't,
It could
no.
be in China. You
Right,
don't know.
yeah.
But it's just one of these times in history where we have to adjust.
Yeah.
And everybody doesn't want to adjust. They don't want to adjust their set. Alexa would take our show.
so.
Go to Alexa and say, Alexa. Do you know what that is?
Of course, yeah. You talk to the speaker and it does
And you
whatever
ask
you
for
want.
Joey Reynolds.
Yeah,
right?
Joey. Alexa,
Give me Joey Reynolds.
Exactly.
We're going to be streaming every night. We're going to do the show every night. Did you know that?
It's shocking.
Well, it is shocking that you didn't know about it until now. That's why. But we're going to start doing that in September.
Oh.
And this show will be on, not necessarily at night. We didn't decide yet.
Not yet.
I mean, when it's on, it's on.
All right.
You can have it all the time.
That's good news.
But we're thinking about being opposite something that really works, which is the shows that they are currently doing on radio.
Oh.
Talk shows that answer phones and argue about politics.
Good.
How unique.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You know, now we're between two doctors that really don't have a practice.
Yes. Doctor, my spleen hurts. What do I do?
So what are we doing? We're creating something. We've got a really good show.
Yeah.
And we have to do it every day so that we can create a habit.
Oh,
we want
that's
people
great.
to listen to this
That's
and
great.
watch it.
That's good.
And you know, when you go to SundayNightLive.com after this thing is off the air, you can see it again. You can hear it again.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and it's not necessarily a celebrity show, but I want to talk about that for a minute with Phil Arno, who's here today.
Mm-hmm.
He's owns a television station with Me TV. You know the Me TV, which is the nostalgia shows, the
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
old shows.
I watch it.
They call it Dash Television when Cozy's on. That's the digital platform on. Let's say in New York,
Right.
WNBC or KNBC in LA.
4.2 or whatever.
Yeah,
yes.
the point 2 is the dash.
Right.
Dash 2. So they call it Dash TV. But before we do that, we had gone, you and I, to the Jerry Lewis fundraiser.
Yes.
Now, you know, he was very controversial.
Well, yeah.
And I will tell you, Jay, first of all, lives in Toms River, which is close to Lakewood, where Jerry began as a soda jerk.
Actually, I'm living in Lakewood right now. But yeah, he was a soda jerk. It was very famously, his parents used to work the hotels in Lakewood when it was a resort. And he used to make sodas.
And meanwhile, up in the Catskills, we had Freddie Roman, who did Catskills on Broadway. Now, Freddie was the dean of the Friars.
Right.
If you want to know about Jerry Lewis, see, unfortunately, we shouldn't be saying this because all the morning shows will be calling him now.
Yeah.
And they didn't think to do this.
Right, but we did.
So we're on Sunday.
Yeah.
And we're on when everybody dies.
Exactly.
So we've had more obits on this show than the New York Times.
And we also have Marvin Scott on the phone at the same time.
He didn't die.
So we have a few minutes, and we have to go to him now. So
all
let's
right.
go.
Marvin, are you there?
Hi there.
Hey, Marvin.
Jerry.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm fine. We're all saddened this evening by the loss of one of the last icons of Hollywood, Jerry Lewis. He was a friend of us all, wasn't he?
Yeah. You know, I got into this business because of him. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Did not.
I did. I was 13 years old, and he had done a movie with at the Paramount Theaters. He was doing all the Paramount Theaters with Dean Martin and Marilyn Maxwell. They were touring the country, and I was a little kid that took a bus uptown, and I just, on a whim, I went backstage, and Dean Martin was shuffling me off, if you can believe it, and Marilyn Maxwell made faces, but Jerry took me under his wing. And he called me honey, and he took me and showed me out the window all the crowds that were after him.
That's so cool.
And he said, you know, you got something, and it'll be bigger and better later. That's honest to God's truth.
Wow.
So to me, I got started with him, and I know he's controversial in many ways, but I always loved him for that. I guess
Well, you know something. He was always terrific with me. I first met Jerry back in, I think, in 1982, before he had his heart attack, and we did an interview. And we became friends, and we remained friends just up until I was going to Las Vegas next week, and I was hoping to give him a call to say hello when I learned today that he had passed. I know he had been ill. You know, I had interviewed Jerry on a number of occasions, and you know, I have to tell you, I've interviewed so many people over the course of my career, but Jerry was very special. I mean, nothing like playing straight man to the king of comedy.
is he in your book?
Yes, he is.
What's that book called again? Plug.
As I Saw It, A Reporter's Intrepid Journey, and there is a chapter about my encounter with Jerry Lewis and the interview and some interesting things about Jerry. I asked him repeatedly to what he attributed his longevity. He had over 60 years of performing, and he would shoot back at me, look me in the eye, and he'd say, 9. I was 9 then, I'm 9 today, and I'm 9 tomorrow. It's no fun being 10 or 11. It was the child in him, the child in him that propelled the humor. You know, it's like me. Well, when I'm with my grandchildren, I'm 5 for that moment.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to give a little shout out to Freddie Roman.
Yeah.
Freddie was the dean of the Friars. Freddie, you there?
I am in the building.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well, and I I am not in Marvin Scott's book.
Oh, boy.
You're in the sequel, Freddie.
Oh, I love sequels. Okay, that's great.
Let me just tell you one thing, Joey. The Friars Club, of course, we will fly our flag at half staff in memory of Jerry, but also I've been in touch with Michael Jury, our executive director, and we are going to open the clubhouse this week to the general public to come in and to sign a memorial book to Jerry Lewis.
That's very cool.
The building we renamed 3 years ago, we renamed it the Jerry Lewis Monastery in tribute to him. He is our abbot, and for those who don't understand, abbot is like chairman of the board. But Jerry Lewis was very, very special, and he was very dedicated to the Friars, and we were honored to have him as the chairman of our board for so many years.
And if you're religious, he would be the Pope.
Well, I did.
No, he could not have been the Pope.
No?
No, he could have been the rabbi.
The Rebbe. He's the chief Rebbe.
Hey, Freddie, if you recall at the dedication, which I officiated, I got a good laugh out of Jerry when I reminded him that we've got the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial, the Ed Koch Bridge, and now the Jerry Lewis Monastery, the first monastery named for a Jew.
That's correct.
Well, a lot of women would have liked that. Hey, Freddie.
Yes.
Now, you're down in Florida right now?
No, I am in New Jersey.
Why didn't you come here today? We should have had you here. I love having you on the air with us. You're funny.
Well, nobody said that to me. The young lady said, we're going to put you on the radio.
Oh.
All right. That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, Catskills on Broadway with Dick Capri was in it as well.
Yeah, that was big.
And it was just a great show, and you revived it. I saw you do the revival with Dave Cohen when you did it in Poughkeepsie a couple of years ago. No, it was in Terrytown a couple of years ago.
Correct.
And Marilyn, who else was in it? There was another funny person. I just can't remember the whole cast.
Corey Can.
Yeah. You guys are great. You're great. You're always good.
And we still are.
I know.
Yes.
Now, what about Jerry Lewis created the mini theaters, which we have now, the multiplex, which is he had 50-seat theaters, right?
Right. And it was an amazing story. He had this huge chain of theaters all over the country, and he wanted that to be that way so that people could come for a small amount of money instead of what they're charging now. And somehow it didn't work.
Well, the bigger version of it did. I mean, they now have 5 or 6 theaters in a building. I mean, that was the idea.
No question about that. Right.
So he's a genius, and we all know that. And he even made peace with Dean Martin before he passed. Now they're going to be together again. I love him. I think he's great. And we went to an event, a fundraiser for his new backing the children's hospitals. You know, Jay was there too. We were both there. And he didn't show up.
Well, he was obviously not feeling
We
well.
didn't know.
We didn't know.
Now you know why. I mean, he was under some weather. But you know what? It's so great to have you guys. Marvin Scott is a beautiful man, and also Freddie Roman is one of the great treasures we have.
Absolutely.
And I'm just so proud to know you guys. You're great. You're great.
Thank you, Joey. Joey, I've got to run because I'm preparing a piece for our 10 o'clock broadcast, so I'm on deadline right now. Good talking to you, and good to share a couple of stories about Jerry Lewis with you, and I hope to talk to you again soon. Bye, Freddie.
Thank you. All right. Freddie, you're still here.
Bye-bye, Marvin. I'm staying.
Not too long.
I have no broadcast to prepare for.
Why not?
I have nothing. It's the highlight of my day.
I have nothing.
Why don't they do the roasts anymore?
We are doing roasts.
Yeah? When's the next one?
We don't know that yet.
That's what I mean.
No, but there will be one, I promise.
Certainly
you're
not
great.
a pig roast.
I love when you're the roast master because you always nail it every time. Every time.
Well, thank you. I love the fact that, the Friars Club started the roast before my time, many, many years ago. And then it went on and did so great that Dean Martin and his producer decided to make that a part of their television show.
Right.
And then they sold out millions of copies of their roasts. But that was great. We were still happy. We were doing ours. We did them on Comedy Central. It was terrific.
Yeah. And they were very, very vulgar on Comedy Central.
Oh, they certainly were, and deservedly so.
Hey, Freddie, did you do the Trump roast?
I certainly did.
I thought so. And did Pat
And
Cooper close?
I can't believe that he never called me to be minister of anything.
Minister of comedy.
Well, you're Jewish.
Oh, no, he had Jews in the. He had Jews. His son-in-law. My God.
Oh, I forgot. Another controversy.
Yeah,
We don't do
trouble.
controversy on this show.
Oh, okay, no controversy.
So, Freddie, when are we going to have you in person in real life? We want to see that Shanum Punham.
Oh, look how good you're doing.
Look.
Are you sure you were born in Buffalo?
That's great.
I
I'll
love it.
tell you what. You do this live on Sunday?
Oh, yeah.
That's
We're
right.
live right now.
All right. I leave for Florida November 3rd. So if you call me or have your person call me next week, we'll make a date,
Excellent.
and I will show up.
Beautiful.
And you know who's here next week is Pat Cooper.
Yeah.
Oh, then I can't be
You
there.
can't.
But we'll make a date,
Yeah.
okay?
All right.
I will make a date, and also, do you still get trays of food from Sarge's?
No, now we get Oliva. We have, we've switched to cannolis for
Yes.
the summer.
Yeah.
It's the summer frock.
We have black and white ones.
Yeah.
All right. All I remember, I swear to you, all I remember the last time I did your late night show.
Yeah, that's ancient history. We don't care about that.
No, I'm
Mickey
kidding.
Freeman,
Mickey would load up with the locks.
and whatever was left over, he took home.
No, he would say it's for the doorman, and then I expected that doorman to be 400 pounds.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I love doing it then. I will gladly do it again with you now.
Great.
Well, thank you, and let's have a kind word on your party here tonight for Jerry Lewis because you're such a great friend.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a lot of years, and we were both born in Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Not at the same time.
No,
but,
no.
Well, he passed away at 91. I'm 80, so we still have.
Plenty of time.
But I got to tell you, he has been. First of all, he was a spectacular attraction in the Catskill Mountains. Brown's Hotel, for 30 years, had their ads, Jerry Lewis's favorite hotel, which was true. He started up there. And Jerry then went on. His career was so spectacular. And he really loved comedy, and he loved anyone that did comedy. And he's going to be sorely missed.
Yeah.
And that's just not a thing to say. It's the truth.
Yeah.
He was spectacular.
So are you. So are you, Freddie.
Thank you so much,
Freddie
Freddie.
Roman. And we'll have him on live one of these times when he agrees to come here.
I promise, and I don't eat cannolis, but you'll do the best you can.
Oh, maybe we'll send out.
All right. Thank you.
Get him Chinese.
Hey,
All right,
lady.
we'll be right back.
Hey, lady. Hey, lady. All right, the Late Joey Reynolds Show is brought to you by TiedInMedia.com. Tied In Media takes the most successful brands, e-tailers, and millennialpreneurs to the next level. Visit TiedInMedia.com. That's TiedIn Media.com.
This is Sunday Night Live with the Late Joey Reynolds Show.
Today, I will help save a life.
Today, I will make a positive impact on my community.
Today, I will network for a cure.
Today, I will become a go-giver.
Together, we will make a difference.
Our mission at pinktide.org is to bring the business community together to support organizations that have a direct impact on our community. Join a growing movement that will contribute $100,000 to local charities each quarter. Visit pinktide.org and join us in making a difference.
Life in Plainview, Long Island is about to get sweeter. Plainview Chocolate Works will soon be opening their sweet doors, offering premium Belgian chocolate delights. Get a mouth-watering candy selection to satisfy the most sophisticated sweet tooth. Oh, this is sweet. Have the ultimate party experience inside a hands-on chocolate studio. Plus, get custom branded chocolate gifts that will take your personalized party favors and corporate gifts to a sweet new dimension. Plainview Chocolate Works creates one-of-a-kind 3D chocolate sculptures, customized gift baskets for any profession or occasion, dip to perfection platters, handmade truffles, and more. You'll love giving back to the Long Island community with Chocolate Charity, as 5% of your Plainview Chocolate Works purchases are donated back to pinktie.org. Their efforts support charitable organizations in the local community. Learn how your purchases are making a difference, and stay tuned for details about the Plainview Chocolate Works grand opening date and festivities. Call 516-252-3855 or visit pinktie.org/chocolateworks.
You found a true variety show with Sunday Night Live, audio and video. It's the Late Joey Reynolds Show.
Yeah, we got my friend Phil Arno is here, but before we talk to Phil about, he even spent some time with Jerry Lewis when he was with Disney Channel in L.A. with Channel 9, which was owned by Walt Disney. You know, this is interesting. We have a tape that nobody else has.
We do?
Yes.
Wow.
It's a video and audio. And Elvis' 40th year, you know, of his passing.
It's unbelievable to think it's that long.
This is an obituary show. The Late Joey Reynolds is really well named.
It's very,
after all
apropos,
these things, unfortunately. But, you know, Elvis's family hasn't even a copy of this.
Ooh.
Dick Clark had a television show called American Bandstand.
He's dead, too.
Everybody on this has to be dead, or we wouldn't be playing it, including the guy doing this.
After this show, all the guests will be dead.
and maybe the station will be signed off. Anyway, this is Dick Clark wanting to tell everybody how the Colonel was because he wanted to have Elvis on the show. And Elvis would never do American Bandstand. Never did American
Colonel
Bandstand.
Parker was Elvis's manager for all
I think
years.
everybody knows
well,
that.
Not everybody.
What do you think? Was it Colonel Sanders?
I don't know.
Was it this is
Colonel
not
Klink? I don't know.
All right. Anyway, here's the video and the sound of Elvis Presley with Dick Clark.
So you met Art.
See, is that a tape recorder you got going there?
Who are you most proud of? You facilitated a great many careers over the years. Is there one in particular you take the most pride in?
No.
Did you never have Elvis on the show? I had heard that.
No, Colonel Parker, the scale on the show was $155.
And he wouldn't take that. He wouldn't work for that.
Way. Colonel Parker was a very bad man. And they stole his money. They stole his career. They stole his library. They stripped him. He was like a puppet on a string. And Colonel Parker was at the heart of it. He was a bastard.
What? How did you feel about Colonel Parker?
So how about that for
how do you really feel?
Wow, that's Dick Clark,
Dick
right?
Clark.
You can only imagine what Ryan Seacrest must sound like.
That Kelly.
So Phil Arno owns a television station.
Yeah.
And he has the Me Network on there. And also you had an experience when you were at Channel 9 of falling out of a helicopter.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've had a lot of experiences.
Yeah, but that one happened to give you some money, and you bought a TV station.
Silly me. And they told me, what are you doing? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we have a WBBZ in Buffalo. And in Buffalo, I don't know whether you know it, there's a building on Main Street, and they're still trying to figure out how to pry this giant pair of shoes off of the door. You know?
When I got fired, I nailed my shoes to the door. That's what he's talking
Fill
about.
these, baby.
I said, fill these.
The building is now an antique shop, so I told them they should just leave it there.
That's funny.
So, Phil, what about Jerry Lewis? You wanted to talk about that?
Oh, yeah. I spent a day with Jerry Lewis when I worked for KCAL in Los Angeles, and we did a feature on him. And what impressed me about Jerry Lewis, and I've met a lot of very famous people in Los Angeles, Bob Hope and Jimmy Stewart and you know, Clint Eastwood, a lot of very, very sharp people. Jerry Lewis knew the business probably better than anyone I ever talked about and talked to. He was really, really up on everything in this business. He's just a terrific, smart guy. And not just a funny guy. And when I spent the day with him, it was not about humor at all. It was about talking about how the business worked. And he was really up on it.
Phil and I did a lot of things together in L.A., you know. He was living on a houseboat, and he had no shoes, and he was a hippie back then. And we developed shows for a company owned by Norman Lear, which was pretty interesting.
That is. Yeah. You could write a book.
Deepak Chopra, we did that video. We just talked about that today.
And the other thing was Bikram Yoga.
Yes, yeah,
Bikram. And, you know, we did the first yoga tape in the world.
Wow.
And he was in there sweating. You know, I was taking the class, and Phil's holding the camera. He tried to hold the camera, sweating it off. But it's pretty interesting. That's a hot yoga, you know.
Yeah. Was Colonel Parker in that one too? No,
no. Colonel Parker's out of the picture. He was a bastard.
Sorry.
According to Dick Clark.
According to Dick Clark.
I also spent a night with Dick Clark one time. He came to Buffalo.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, really.
And we went to O.J. Simpson's house and did an interview.
Oh, no.
We spent a couple hours with O.J. Simpson. This was when he was still with the Buffalo Bills, and Dick Clark was doing an NBC special on celebrities and where they were at certain times. Interesting experience, especially subsequently because I was in one of the helicopters over the White Bronco.
Oh, I didn't know.
That was my footage you saw.
Get out. The one everybody sees.
Yep,
Yeah. Oh, my.
Yep.
Wow.
That was an interesting.
Well, there's a world-famous rock and roll photographer next to you. Bob Gruen is here. And Bob is a terrific photographer. He was busy taking pictures of Seymour Stein, turning down his appearance on the show today.
It happens. We were supposed to have
We got a
Seymour
photo
on.
of it.
Yeah, we do.
So, Bob, how are you?
I'm good.
Good to have you on the
Thanks
show.
for having me here.
And you meet Phil Arno. You didn't know each other, did you?
No, not before this.
You didn't know that he had footage. He has footage of you shooting pictures.
Oh, really?
Would you consider yourself paparazzi at one time?
No, I don't really. Paparazzi is somebody who just kind of catches pictures of people, off guard. I try to take pictures of people when they want them taken.
Portrait.
Yeah.
Like John Lennon.
Yes.
John Lennon one is. That's probably the most famous one, huh?
Well, that's my hit single, yeah.
Yeah, that's the number
John
one
with the
song.
New York City T-shirt. Yeah.
Anybody new? Are we doing anything now? With
Well, nowadays I've been working with Green Day, actually, the popular band, for the last 20 years, and I'm probably going to put out a book on the Green Day next year. I've been taking pictures of them. I was in London, in Hyde Park, about a month ago when they played a big concert there.
Well, their show on Broadway in American Idiot was pretty successful.
Yeah.
And they were arena
great
bands, and
band.
they came after the show one night. They were not in the show, but they did a performance in a small theater. They're used to having 60,000
Oh, they
people.
love to play.
And
They
they
play
came
big
in,
places, small
and I had
places.
the show at the NASDAQ window in Times Square, So we were very, very flattered to be in the middle of everybody and everything. Nobody wanted to be in Times Square because a kid from Connecticut had a bomb in his car on 43rd Street.
Well, that was...
And Mayor Bloomberg at the time, he was a mayor, he put out a card table and two chairs and said, let's open a mall.
Open it up,
and have a family feeling.
Yeah.
Do you know the other day in New York they had a bike day where everybody had bike free?
I didn't know.
You could take one of those city bikes that they rent.
Yeah.
The city makes money off all
Of
this
course they do.
crap. And for some reason here in New York, we have a bike lane, we have a bus lane. Now you can't drive anywhere. You need to have a helicopter to get here. The only lane that's left is because of deliveries. Don't forget there's trucks that come in and they're not going to be in the bus lane. They're going to be in the bike lane.
Yep.
So they're creating that other one. So now we got to kind of like squeeze in.
No lanes.
Squeeze
No
down,
lanes.
yeah.
Why are they always trying to do something here that makes everybody miserable?
In New York?
Yeah. What is it? Is there like a...
I could write a book on that.
No, but seriously, is there like a committee that meets and says, okay, how are we going to aggravate them this week?
I think there is.
Well,
There
but
must
I
be.
think the challenge of living here is what makes the people great.
Oh, yeah? Is that what you
overcome
think?
the problems and you
I
keep
think you're an
going. It
idiot.
gives you a lot of confidence.
You know what makes me great? Grate, great.
Oh, okay.
No, I think you got a wonderful reputation, and the show is not going to do you any good.
Oh, really?
Not at all. Now, do you seek out the people, or do they seek you? I mean, how does that?
Well, it depends. I mean, a lot of my work I did because I wanted to, and a lot of times people came to me asking for pictures.
Yeah, because I mean, the roster of people you.
Well, you're a
take
rock
on.
and roll disc jockey, so
please.
you're just
Yeah.
lusting. Look at him drool all
I
over
am
the
drooling.
mic.
I'm drooling.
Well, I kind
Bob
of cover
Gruen.
everybody from Ike and Tina Turner to Green Day, and actually there's a new band called the Stripes from Ireland. We're about 19 years old. That I like
I know
a
they
lot.
are. I know they are.
Yeah, they're a great band.
You know why? I listen to Capital FM, which is out of the UK. Do you listen to them at all?
No, I listen to all kinds of different radio.
Well, you ought to go there, and,
All
you'll,
over the
and you'll have
place.
a revelation.
And today is National Radio Day.
Oh,
Did
good.
you know that?
Well, there's like 3 people left.
glad to be one of them.
Like
about
they said,
opiates.
Scott Shannon was bragging he's number 1 in the morning. Yeah, of the available audience, 8 people. Whoever's left, it's just the available audience. Isn't that how that works?
It is. It's who's listening to radio.
It's not the population of the city
It
or
is,
the country
right.
or how many people there are. It's the available
It's
people
a
to
share
listen
of
to
people
radio.
listening to the radio,
Which is
correct.
ridiculously shabby.
Well, but aren't you expanding and going beyond that by streaming on the internet? I mean,
we
the
are.
audience is actually available.
No, you know why?
billions.
Somebody peed in the stream.
Yeah.
With the
Oh, really?
The problem with that is they can't measure it properly.
Well, Well, also you don't know. There's too many things. I mean, how many people have a podcast and a stream? Everybody's got a show. Everybody's a photographer, Bob.
I know.
They all got cameras now. Everybody's
kind of business.
You know, I mean, I've gone state's witness on myself in Little Italy today.
Yeah. Oh, everybody takes pictures. But since I always enjoyed it, I think it's nice that everybody else can enjoy it.
Well, no, there's nothing wrong
It's
with
hard
it.
to make a living doing it, though.
Yeah, but if you're from Rochester and you worked at Kodak or you have stock, you're kind of pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Kodak was a good stock for a long time.
Yes, and film too. You know, lots of film. Now everybody's got that wonderful red camera. Yeah. It's all video. I don't like the grain-less quality. That's why I don't like Philadelphia show with Danny DeVito, our friend. You know?
I like that.
I don't like the shooting. I can't get comfortable with that.
It's hard to watch, but it's a funny show.
You know, well. If you like watching it, then you go ahead and get off of this show here because I don't, and I'm the host.
Good night, folks.
Do you want this show next week? Remember I held the money up to buy the station?
That was good.
Yeah. Well, you know what happened to that money?
Tell me, please.
No, I'm not.
I didn't get it.
All right, now Phil Arno here has a television station in Buffalo. They have MeTV, and MeTV is a nostalgia show. That's a channel, a buster, isn't it? I mean, is that what a doorbuster channel?
It's well, I like to call it the Back to the Future channel because we have all the good stuff from Columbo to MASH and Gilligan's Island. That's the kind of and that was the first one out of the gate, pretty much. They had retro television,
but he's in Buffalo, so they have a bowling show
and a polka show,
and a polka show.
And one of the biggest shows that we have is a polka show, believe it or not.
And you're thinking of carrying this one?
Yes. This is part of what we do. I mean, we have that classic programming, but what makes us unique in the market is we do a lot of programs that connect with the local population in Western New York. And that's, that's what gives us character and depth. Anybody, there's network after network after network now that has classic programming. They're all over the place. Yeah. And this makes us different.
Well, it's a dumping ground for the networks because they all own those channels.
They found a way to make money on something that was in the vault for 30 years.
And there are some estates that won't allow that to happen, Do you know that Bill Cosby owns Amos and Andy? Did you know that?
Really? I didn't know that.
Seriously, you're joking. I'm not setting you up. I'm really. And I'll tell you something. My kids now, I have grandchildren now, they are going through the same thing that Bill Cosby went through on television. I used to stand in front of the refrigerator when they were teenagers, and I was trying to find a way to lock the door so they couldn't get in there, because they eat everything. Yeah. They're like sheep.
Locusts.
Well, politely. And I was standing. He says, "Okay, this is my food. You're in my house. I'm paying all the bills." And so my daughter said, "You're Cosby. You're Bill Cosby." These days she's not doing it so much, but is that you carry that show?
No, we don't have that one. No,
that's NBC.
Yeah,
he was going to buy the network. They were going to call it Nothing But Cosby, NBC. But we got an entertainer here, Bob. Am I taking too much time with you?
No.
Okay. I mean, you're a lovely man, and I don't want you to think that you got cheated because I'm talking too much.
It's a short form show, and we have little things, and boom, and we move on.
And
it is a talk show.
I have a lot. Well, I have a lot to say, and sometimes people say, "I wish he'd shut up," But then there's why don't you let the guy talk? So you have something you want to say? Because I want to get out of the way and let you talk.
Oh, well, I'm really happy that my book, Rock Scene, just got released in Japan.
Rock Scene,
S-E-E-N. S-E-E-N, the things that I've seen. It's actually in 5th printing here in the United States, which is unheard of for a photo book. So we just came back from a 3-week trip in Tokyo and Japan.
So did Dana, who's one of the producers of our show. Did you talk to him?
He was in Japan?
Yeah. Well, just get back. He's on their time, as a matter of fact. That's why he's yawning. In the other
it's kind of the opposite of here. And then we came home through Vancouver, which is, instead of 13 hours ahead, is 3 hours behind. So at this point, I'm not sure which time zone I'm in.
Well, I'm a little older, so we refer to sushi as bait. And then we got Phil Arno here. Phil, did you have something you want to say?
No, we talked about Jerry Lewis and Dick Clark and O.J. Simpson and
those are celebrities. You love celebrities. We were talking.
No, you know what? Over the years as a photographer, in my line, which is video, and before that it was 16 millimeter film. There's been quite an evolution in news, which is what I did all my adult life. And what about in the still photography? I never did get into the still photography end of it, just video.
Well, it's kind of the same thing, you know, because it's so easy to take a picture, and so many people wanted to be able to take pictures to express themselves that now they do. I mean, people come up to me all the time, like, I love photography because it's a way to express myself. My son is a singer-songwriter, and it wasn't until his third or fourth album he finally let me take some pictures, and I'm proud of him to doing it on his own.
What group? What's it called?
He's called Chris Gruen. It's just his own name.
Okay.
K-R-I-S, and he's really great. He played last night in New Jersey down at Stone Pony. But he finally asked me to do a photo session. So we made a nice session and had a nice picture that he was thinking of using for the cover. Then he called me up. He goes, Dad, I'm going to use another picture. And I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, his daughter, my granddaughter, 8 years old, Jasmine, took a better picture. And when I saw the picture and saw how she had done it, she didn't just get a picture. She took about 15 pictures because she knew what she wanted and she got it right.
Yeah.
So, you know, if an 8-year-old can do it, I guess it's pretty easy nowadays. But it's hard to make a living.
They took a picture of me this afternoon. I wore a. Unfortunately, I went to the ATM machine, as you know, over there, and I wore a mask. They're not very fond of that in Chase.
No, you don't.
All right, so Enid is here today. Enid's I met her. She's a Jersey fan. You live in Jersey?
I know. I'm Manhattan. I live here.
Okay, good.
Well, I'm from New Jersey originally.
Passaic, originally, yes.
Originally, Passaic. That's right. I was so absolutely nostalgic about being from Passaic. I wrote a song for the Jersey Tomato, actually.
Yeah,
they're
very famous when they.
Well, I sent it down to the Vegetable Growers Association, and they loved it, and it was eventually aired on Channel 2 News.
I married a Jersey Tomato.
Well, maybe you even heard it. I went, can I? This is what you heard. Hit it, boys. Well, I'm the New Jersey Tomato from the Garden State. Ain't nothing like me ever on your plate. Think of all the memories we could be making. Give me some lettuce, mayo, and a slice of bacon. Ain't no Idaho potato, ain't no California grape. I'm the New Jersey Tomato from the Garden State.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I wondered where you got that tomato diet from.
Yeah, really.
It's wonderful.
I love
Just
the leg
came over
moves.
me.
That's great, Enid. Thank you. That's wonderful.
Well, she's going to sing a song, too, to attract.
Well, I also want to tell you that I returned my wife after we got divorced because you put a deposit on them in New Jersey. We have to take a break again?
No, we're gonna play a song right now. She's gonna sing.
She's going to sing again? I've had enough. This is like American Idol.
She's going to sing a song, so let's start.
This is about finding unexpected optimism.
All right, here we
Here's
go.
Enid.
This is called
Loose Change. You got me, you movie star, and you can be my captain, oh, Captain Valentine. So heads or tails, it's so random, all the beautiful dreams we abandoned. But I got this feeling we will keep on and on and on and on and on, burning up, turning up like loose change, shining, shining in the rain, like like loose change, rolling around the universe, deep in my sleep. I got loose change slipping through a hole in my pocket, I never knew was there. Like this groove I'm kicking, I don't wanna stop it. No, don't stop, it's taking on somewhere. I got loose change slipping through a hole in my pocket.
This is what we
Hole in my pocket, I never knew was there. Must be a sign. What my mama said, stitching time.
Oh, Enid, something else, baby. I like that glove. What are you going to do with that?
Well, the thing is, I was playing in a Chinese restaurant. Someone asked me for a request, they said, I love that song. And she said, can I kiss your hand? And then she bit my hand.
Well, I was going to start with your feet.
No, so I've
work
been
my
wearing
way
an
up.
evening glove ever since.
We got to take a
So
break.
what happened, Enid, just one quick question here. You wrote a song for Fame? For the TV
Well,
show?
I had 3 hits from the TV show Fame.
Yeah.
High Fidelity, Be Your Own Hero, Lay Back and Be Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I mean, I was the diva in one of the gay clubs Upper East Side here, and the boys were dancing to these tunes that I was making up, and I met Charlie Koppelman, who I was signed to him for a bunch of years, and he got them and built the episodes around the songs, Lay Back and Be Cool, High Fidelity, Be Your Own Hero, and the rest,
Well, you know, it's funny you should mention that. I went to a gay wedding when I was in California, and I caught the bouquet.
Oh, boy.
Well, what? So, where does that go?
We're going to take a break.
Just let it alone. All right, the Late Joey Reynolds Show is brought to you by Leap EDU. Become part of the high-paying, fast-paced New York real estate industry. Call 844-303-5327 or go to leapedu.com.
This is Sunday Night Live with the Late Joey Reynolds Show.
Social media is the marketing sensation. Every day, there are over 1 billion likes and tweets around the world. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and others have taken over as the #1 form of communication. Take advantage of this phenomenon. Talk with TideInMedia.com about building a vital social media strategy. Go to TideInMedia.com. That's TideInMedia.com. They'll help guide your business through social media, web development, and marketing. Building your brand and taking your business to the next level is what Tide In Media does. Many of Tide In Media's clients have been featured on Fox News, People Magazine, MTV, and other top-tier networks. The most successful businesses are leveraging the internet. Follow in the footsteps of the Late Joey Reynolds Show and visit TideInMedia.com. That's TideInMedia.com. Or call Tide In Media today at 844-373-8433. That's 844-373-8433. And tell them the Late Joey Reynolds Show sent you.
Are you in debt? Can't make your monthly bills? Are you making your payments but the balances aren't going down? Bankruptcy might be right for you. Don't be fooled by debt consolidation. The process is expensive and can take as long as 5 years. Debt consolidation is a business. Bankruptcy is the law. Go now to nybankruptcy.com. Schedule a free consultation with a duly licensed attorney. Don't put your financial life on freeze for 5 years. Start rebuilding your credit in as little as 90 days. Debt settlement? Most people can't settle their debt because they don't have the money. Bankruptcy is your fresh start. Go now to nybankruptcy.com to schedule your free consultation. Your financial life will be reviewed by a duly licensed New York attorney. Each case must be reviewed and there are rules that apply. Not all debt is dischargeable. Not all people will qualify. Bankruptcy is not the end. Bankruptcy is the beginning. Visit nybankruptcy.com today.
You can listen on air or online. Plus, watch the Late Joey Reynolds Show right now with streaming video at SundayNightLive.com.
Fuller figure is what you have, Jay.
Fuller figure, is that it?
Yeah, if you're a girl,
Not
you would be a sister of size.
Isn't that nice? He's brutal. He's brutal tonight. He's brutal.
We've got Diane Morton-Gattullo here. Now,
Oh.
Diane is one of my favorite people. She also works on the show with us, you know.
Mine too.
No, just a minute.
I love you too, Daisy.
What's your name is called? She
Yeah, just
discovered
hold
you. Diane Morton-Gattullo discovered you for us. And Diane is, in addition to being a talent booker and also a very talented writer, and she's got a great daughter named Madison who's going to be on the show one of these days. You know, this is a family.
Yeah.
Phil and I were talking in the car. I'm going to make this quick because we only got a few minutes. I don't want to get into your time. But Phil and I were talking in the car. He does interviews of people who are famous, essentially, when they come to Buffalo. And they sit down, and he has a TV show where he does this on his own channel, which is kind of cool. But what I was telling him, I said, you know, I don't want to do an interview. I don't like interviews. I go to Charlie Rose if you want to be interviewed. Hang around with Gayle King. What I want to do is I want to see Gayle King talk to Oprah about their sex life.
Wow.
That's what I want to hear.
I don't want to see that.
Well, maybe I don't.
Yeah.
But you know, I want to hang out with people and find out what's going on within their little heads. You know, because we got this population of people who get ignored. It's called the general public.
Yeah.
You know, and I learned radio and television the hard way, which was to entertain the listeners and the viewers, not to entertain banks. You know, I didn't get into this thing to make Wall Street happy.
Right.
I don't give a crap about Wall Street being happy. I never was about money, never, and it shows. No, you know, I want to have these people here now. Diane, we're going to have you on again to talk about your book, and
Absolutely,
and your television series, and your life with the mob, and it's great. And you had a writing partner. You got a big story, and so to warm it up, I want you to introduce, just if you would, Daisy over here. And tell us about it, because I know you love her.
I love her. I love her. And first of all, I have to say I'm so excited to be here on the other side of the mic with you guys, because you're two of my favorite guys next to my husband. I love you.
But you already Facebook. You Facebook all the time.
Yes, I do.
And we should give a shout out to Steve's father.
Yes, my
who
father-in-law,
built half
Vincent.
of Staten Island,
Yes.
and that would be Morton-Gattullo.
That's right. He's an amazing man.
Yeah.
And Vincent and my husband and Madison, we are all so in love with Daisy. She is amazing. She has a foundation. She is so brilliantly talented. You will be blown away. And I don't know if you're going to have enough time to hear everything. We may have to bring her back too. She's got a musical foundation. Let her tell you everything.
She'll be at Lincoln Center.
Lincoln Center.
Yeah.
This is an amazing woman that everybody should know. Her name should be on everyone's lips. Daisy.
And I'm going to be at Lincoln Center too, you know. I'll be handing out programs. So what are you going to play?
Oh, I'm going to play a piece. So let me just quickly say, next Sunday, 27th of August, 3 p.m., I have the great privilege to produce and kind of star as a classical rock violinist in a show at Lincoln Center. Alice
Where are you
Tully
from?
Hall.
You sound very British.
I'm very British.
Yes.
From London.
All right.
Born and bred.
Spend any time in L.A.?
I have spent a very short time. Yes, I did. I actually worked with. I did work with Hans Zimmer on a couple of film scores there. Yes, I did have a great opportunity to work with him.
Well, so now let's hear your stuff here.
So come next week. Amazing show. Full orchestra, 103 performers.
But you put it together yourself.
And we've put it together ourselves. Okay. I wrote a lot of the music, and you have these students performing, mentored for months with the best musicians in the world, and performing on the stage. So now let's take it away.
Let's do it.
This is good. Here we go. Woo!
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I think I saw you in Young Frankenstein. Oh, so what's that other thing you're playing?
Oh, now here.
That's a sawed-off shotgun or something.
Wow,
Can you get that through the airport?
That's a gizmo.
This has a problem getting to the airport sometimes.
I'll bet.
But I've learned not to joke in America about that kind of thing.
No, not a good idea. Not in this building.
I go there for a massage.
So this song, even though it's by a British band, I learnt about it when I came to live in New York because people here love it.
What band would that be?
Well, I think
you're going to surprise. It's not Freddie Mercury and Queen, is it?
Wow.
Great.
I love the hook.
Daisy Jopling, no relation to Janice.
No. That we know of.
Spiritually related.
But it's okay. What a wonderful performance.
Wow.
You know, we're a little bit off on the sound system here because we're all makeshift. You know about that. But you're going to be at Lincoln Center, and I think you'll have a better consideration over there.
Awesome sounding.
Yes, you will.
Meanwhile, I'll be
27th.
over at Chuck E. Cheese with a bullhorn. I want to thank you for being here. Diane, also thank you for bringing Daisy. She's wonderful. And,
Oh, I love you guys, and I love her.
and Phil Arno. I want to thank Bruce for engineering tonight, and also Steve. Steve has been in the background, not your husband.
No, he's in the background,
Steve
too.
Guerin.
He's in the background, too.
And all the guys from the Markowitz
Markowitz
family.
family, yeah.
They're gonna
Always
doing a
superb.
high wire act. They're gonna jump with. They're gonna work. They don't work for net.
No. They don't need it. Not tonight, no.
and Jay Sorensen.
You think?
Yeah. Thanks for being here. Let a smile be your umbrella. Don't get a mouthful of rain.
See you next week, everybody.
WABC.
And the Late Joey Reynolds Show brought to you by TiedInMedia.com. Tied In Media takes the most successful brands, e-tailers, and millennialpreneurs to the next level. Visit TiedInMedia.com. That's TIEDIN Media.com.
This is